Hi everyone. Here we have actually been asked and requested to respond on the question of migrants in the townships. Whether migrants must be expelled from the townships to run businesses like spaza shops in the townships. This is from our members in different townships, Soweto as well. Now, what we would like to say is that as South African Small and Medium Enterprise Corporation, we do not really find it appropriate to expel migrants from the township economic space. Our reason being this: as South Africans, we are what we are because we have been conditioned to be 100% consumers and 0% producers. And we need to understand as well that when we talk about retail industry is a tertiary industrial sector. It doesn't make money more than manufacturing. The problem with us as South Africans is that we produce nothing and consume everything. This is very easy to find for any one of us. Just take a pen and a paper, go to your house, get to your house, make an inventory of everything that you have in the house, write it on the paper, and see how many things that have been manufactured by black people. Absolutely not even one. If you would have 1%, you will be lucky. This tells us that we are just consumers, not producers. Now, those who produce are the ones who get money, and those consumers give money to producers. That's what makes us poor, because we have been conditioned to that. That is exactly what we need to change. If then we are to change that, we need to produce our own manufacturers. We cannot produce manufacturers and expel retailers at the same time. The South African retail industry is big. It's big in such a way that, according to the Global Agricultural Information Network, the groceries sales value nationally last year, 2020, was about 700 billion. The majority of these, of consumers of these groceries are black people who are concentrated in the townships and rural areas. But unfortunately, according to the study that was presented by Mr. Chairman in 2011 in Cape Town, we have about 100,000 spaza shops nationally. And the income that we have in the spaza shops is about 7 billion. Now, if the national grocery sales value it's 700 billion, and the spaza shops or the retail in the hands of black people in the form of spaza shops can only be 7 billion, this would mean it's only 1%. In that 1%, 85% of it is controlled by migrants, not locals. 15% is just locals, maybe. If then we are to produce manufacturers, we need vehicles like spaza shops that will sell these products to our own people. It's very unfortunate that then we can now be saying migrants must be expelled from the townships. That in itself is an action without reflection. Sometimes we do things without calculations. Secondly, when we look at all these spaza shops, all of them, and look at the money that they pay to lend to property owners who are locals, where they have rented shops. Nationally, it's about 200 million a month, and that fits 500,000 mouths. In Gauteng alone, it's about 40% of those spaza shops. This would mean 40% of the spaza shops are in Gauteng. Then it's about 40,000. It means that spaza shops are paying 80 million to local property owners. That feeds children, take them to school, hospitals, and all that. Now, when we say migrants must be expelled from the township, what are we talking about? Doesn't make any economic sense in the first place to expel 85% of 7 billion from the township economy where we need capital or where we need investment. To us, it doesn't make any economic sense. I don't know whether it makes economic sense to other people. We think such decisions are hasty decisions that have been made without reflection or thinking. So we disagree with that because we need more retailers, being migrants or being locals. However, migrants have proven themselves to be capable in making spaza shops. But our position as well, even to them migrants, is to say, let them not be expelled. Let them not be restricted to make spaza shops among us. Because these spaza shops can as well be transformed to be vehicles or to be distribution arteries for products manufactured by our own people. That is the reason. And that is our position. Well, some have complained that in Soweto they have been told that migrants can no longer open spaza shops. The spaza shops that are there for migrants are enough. The space is only left for locals. 1%, is that what? 1% that migrants are, have 1%. Even that 1% is just 85% of that 1%. You tell me that there's no space. I don't understand. We are looking at 1% and leave 99%. And we would rather, in fact, protect that 99%. And we say nothing about it. The main thing is those who control 1%. Our direction as South African Small and Medium Enterprise Corporation is that we need to produce more black manufacturers in the economic market. Because manufacturing, it's a secondary industrial sector. It makes more money than retail. Retail is just pass the product that does not belong to you, from someone else, pass it to your brother, and take money from your brother, and it goes to the one who's producing. Why don't you produce yourself? That is where the problem lies with us. Then we say, by expelling migrants from the township, you are actually killing us. And all these decisions have been made by people who have not made any economic or commercial calculations whatsoever. Just impose, no, this is what we want. These are decisions that have been made out of impressions. We do not agree with that. All what we are saying now is that we need to work together. We need to create a situation where we can work together. And the other thing that we need to understand is that Black people have to unite. So if we expel migrants from the township, it means those who have rented their properties to them will have to forfeit all that money. And we have killed them and we have caused poverty. There are other property owners at the moment who are looking for prospective tenants for their properties, for people who can make shops. What are we talking about? What are we saying about them? We don't destroy others to do something. In the first place, the very same thing of expelling them from the township for something that we have not yet seen, for something that we have not, for the house that we have not built. You don't destroy a house before you build another house. That is our position. All what we are saying is that this 1% that we control, or that it's an income for the township spaza shops, it must be used and be transformed into a resource for our own economic takeoff. It must be a launch pad for that. By so saying, we are not really condoning the exclusion of our people from their own economic space, like the township economic space. Out-competing them from their own economic space. We are against that. We want more and more and more locals to participate actively in the retail industry. And that will help our manufacturers. But at the same time, let's not restrict the potential that we have from migrants who like to invest in there. Whoever comes up with these decisions does not have anything to offer once they have destroyed, because what is happening now, it's a total destruction of the township economic, capacity. We are actually degenerating it completely. Once we have expelled them, or we have refused them to invest when they want to invest, then we find that what we are trying to do now is not going to work, because it doesn't even actually seem that we have prospects, good prospects for success. If it fails at a certain point, what are we going to do? We will have destroyed the economy completely. Let's not destroy what we have. Let's build on what we have. Let's add. Let's not remove. All these decisions are impressions. Impressions without reflection. No calculations, no commercial or no economic calculations have been made at all. So we do not agree with that. Now, others now say that it's a law. The law has been passed that migrants in Soweto must not invest anymore. Migrants that are in Soweto are enough. We don't know such law. We don't know any legitimate parliament that has passed that law. We haven't heard about it. We are not aware of it. Maybe we need to be made aware of it. It's important for us now to say, on economic matters, let's get the wide consultation, not just impose our impressions on people. As South African Small and Medium Enterprise Corporation, we advocate for self-reliance, economic self-reliance. We believe in social cohesion. And we strive for self-economic development, because self-economic development is the only road to economic justice. Yes, we are being told that we can make partnership with the mainstream the corporate sector. But let me tell you, I don't think that is our direction as such. We believe that the corporate sector has to be compelled by law, one way or another, that when they participate in the township economy, their participation must be based on their level of building the economic capacity. This will mean in their procurement budgets, they have to include black manufacturers and black suppliers. They must be compelled to do that, not to be backed. And if we will be backing them, this would mean they will participate in terms set by them. And the partnership will always be in their terms, not in our terms. You can't compete with people in their terms. You can compete with people in your terms or on agreed terms. So, being migrants and the mainstream retailers are not the township dwellers. They are not staying in the township. After collecting all that money goes out of the township and the township is left empty, poor. We can rather go and protect the corporate sector and leave our people suffering here. This is what is happening with us. We are not against the corporate sector, but we say the corporate sector must participate in the township economic space in terms and conditions that will build the local economy and the economic capacity in the township, and they must be compelled to do so by government. Migrants as well must be part of us. And the mainstream retailers must not be allowed to go outside the malls. They must be confined in the malls in order to give a chance to small ones outside the malls. So this is our position when it comes to this issue. In South Africa here, the spaza shops are feeding more than 500,000 mouths a month. That is why we have to think and rethink. The position of expelling migrants from the townships, it's not an economically viable, decision at all. We are actually destroying the township economies. And it's important for us now to stand up and say, let's defend ourselves. Let's protect ourselves. Let's come up with sober decisions and economic decisions that will help our people. We need to change our condition. Our condition is that it's a condition of poverty because we are 100% consumers and 0% producers. We produce nothing and consume everything. That is the position of a black person. So, if you expel or you refuse or you restrict migrants to participate in the township economic space, you are destroying us as manufacturers. That is going to be in favor of the corporate sector that has the ability to produce. Because we can't produce. You're destroying us. And that will be in favor of the mainstream retail industry, because they know very well that we as locals have failed to compete with them. And now the threat is these migrants. So do you see what we are doing? We are working for the corporate sector. That is what is happening now. We are working in the interest of the corporate sector, not in the best interest of, the township economy or the township people, not at all. Now, the problem with us as black people is that we have got this mentality that for me to succeed, I must destroy someone else. That is not the way with us. The strength is in unity, not destroying others. For us to go up, you don't need to go up. You don't need to step on someone else. No one needs to die for you to live. You can live when others are living. Now we tend to think, no. Migrants must go. Must go. Why? It's important for us then to say our position as South African Small and Medium Enterprise Corporation is that migrants must not be expelled from the townships, and migrants as well must still be allowed to invest in the townships, in the spaza shops, but working together with our people and participate in terms and conditions that will build the local economic capacity, not to outcompete our people, but to work with our people. That is our position. Thank you.